What is going on, movie bills? Movie bills. We're here to talk the Suicide Squad.
A whole new kind of squad.
Somebody asked me the other day. They were like, "Why is it just not called Suicide Squad 2?" And I was like, "Because it's the Suicide Squad."
Because it's not a sequel, but kind of is, or it's a requel, a remake sequel. I don't know. Why not? Why not call it the?
Oh, I just had something's in my eye. Before we get into it, a thank you to the Movie Meal patrons, Steve, Kimberly, and Karen. Go get some Movie Meals merch, follow us on Letterbox, all that good stuff. It's all linked down in the description. I just woke up, so I look like a mess, and my eyes are full of goopies.
Thanks for that.
All right. The Suicide Squad non-spoiler review, excuse me. Here to talk about it, James Gunn remade kind of a sequel, like Kyle was saying. It's a requel of just James Gunn doing what he would like to do, I guess, with these characters. So let's get into it. Kyle, what were your positives of the Suicide Squad?
My positive overall is that I had a blast with this movie. It feels like what I was expecting that this movie was going to be is that Warner Bros. Finally got the Suicide Squad movie that they've always intended to make. But I think it just also amped it up to another degree thanks to James Gunn being able to have an R rating to this. And the R rating really works in this case. I mean, it feels like, a comic book movie, and it feels like, how he always has been able to go about making these types of movies to where they're very character driven first, and even though you don't relate to the characters necessarily, or you may not like the characters always necessarily, but they're just still entertaining, and you still want to keep hearing the conversations that they're having, keep learning about their backstories, keep learning about them as individuals rather than just villains as the story progresses. And Gunn has been always able to do. Sorry, I had another call there.
You're back.
Why can't I hear you now? Talk again.
Hello.
Why are you so quiet?
I'm not.
Okay. Oh, there we are. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I keep getting calls all of a sudden. I don't know what the deal is. What was I talking about?
The Suicide Squad and how James Gunn did a good job.
Oh, right, with the characters, yeah. But not only is he good with, the character work, he's good with the action, but he's also good at making the action go up to another degree because of the R rating. He's able to almost kind of capture some of the gore aspects of the movie that he was able to do with other movies, such as Slither. Not that Slither and this movie are like the same movie, but just, he's been able to, go a bit further when it comes to like action and violence as he did in those movies, that he's really able to kind of do that in the vein of a comic book movie, but an R-rated one. So I think between, his great work with the characters, great work with the action, and just being able to kind of become a bit more unhinged like he used to be with some of his previous movies, he's able to, make a movie that we're not surprised is very good because we've seen him handle this genre so well before, but it also can feel different because stylistically on his approach, it just breathes new life into not only the Suicide Squad, but just into the genre as well. At least in my opinion, it breathes another new life into the genre anyway. So I was just able to smile from ear to ear because it was funny. It had great characters. The action was good. It was crazy bonkers, but James Gunn felt like it was imaginative and he was able to make us be along for the ride and not feel like outcasts in how crazy this movie becomes. And all in all, I just really, really like this movie. And I'm sure that many other people are happy about this movie too. And I'm sure Warner Bros. Is as well because they finally got the movie that they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is light years better than the movie that they gave to that trailer company to recut from what David Ayer shot.
Yeah.
I mean, we were standing outside the theater talking about it, and my girlfriend who was with us was like, she hadn't seen the first one. She's like, maybe I should watch it. And I was like, you do not need to. It is so bad. She was like, maybe I'll like it. And I was like, trust me, you will not like it. Like, you have brain cells. You will not like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, This movie was really good. I mean, I really liked the kind of crazy, unique story. It didn't feel like Guardians of the Galaxy to me, which I actually was nervous about going in, that it was just going to feel like Guardians, because I think Guardians 2 is quite a bit overrated. And so I was real nervous that his shtick was going to get a little much. It didn't really. It hit well. I liked the uniqueness of the story. I like the characters. By far, my favorite character was Polka Dot Man. I loved
Yes.
everything about him, and then Harley Quinn was
Yes.
second. But Polka Dot Man was absolutely fantastic, and honestly, I wish we would have gotten more of him just
Mhm.
throughout the movie. But it is a bonkers story. It's bloody, which just it just made it enjoyable. I'm not necessarily sure this is what WB originally wanted, because they originally told Ayer he could make one movie and then completely changed their mind when BVS got complaints. And then
Yeah.
they started throwing colors in there and not making it as dark. This is a dark
Native
movie.
music videos. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a dark movie. But it's just more gory and things like that. So I I really had a fun time with this movie overall. What about your negatives? What are your negatives?
I did feel like it ran a bit long, and because of that, it caused like some pacing issues that were actually a bit more glaring than I really thought initially. Like throughout the movie, I was just feeling it more and more. I still had fun and enjoyed myself, but it did feel like there was some issues between those two things. And I wasn't necessarily a fan of some of the time jumping that was going on between events. I mean, it led to some creative stuff, like some creative action scenarios, and it had made for some good entertainment still. But I would have liked it if it was maybe a bit more linear of a movie as compared to kind of leapfrogging around from scenario to scenario. I don't know how it would have been able to work, if it would have worked as well as the final product that we had. But I was kind of noticing that too, to where it felt like that was happening a bit one time too many. So maybe that could have also have been tweaked somehow. But I really can't complain too much because, like I said, I just really had a blast with this movie. It was a really great time, and I was smiling from ear to ear.
My first negative has nothing to do with the movie, so buckle up. My
Okay.
negative is to idiotic moviegoers. I get it. Some movie theaters have opened back up. When this guy walks into our theater, sits directly in front of one of my friends who went with me, sits down at the movie's maybe 10 minutes in, and he goes, "Did the movie start? How much have I missed?" And we were like, "Dude, it's been like 10 minutes. Shut up." And he sat
Yeah.
down, and then all of a sudden his bald buddy comes walking in. Nothing wrong with bald people, but I don't know why it made me so annoyed. But he just came walking in with his little polo shirt, and he sat 2 seats next to his buddy as they started talking in the beginning. And then somebody was like, "Shush," and they kind of stopped. And then later in the movie, all of a sudden, I just get the brightest bright signal known to man. He's right in front of me, and his phone just lights up. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
say anything because I was like, oh, maybe he's just checking an emergency. Let's just give him a second. And I watched him. I stopped watching the movie to watch him go to 6 different communication apps: his messenger app, his Facebook messenger app, his WhatsApp app, his Instagram notifications. He had none. He kept looking for a friend. Fun fact, he doesn't have any. He didn't have any. He just was making more enemies throughout his freaking day because he had his freaking phone on. Then we get out of the movie. He turned it off. And then for me, he didn't get on it the rest of the movie. So I didn't freak out so much. But I can't believe I watched him go to 6 different apps looking for a friend. He had none. And thank goodness he doesn't, because of the way he acts in theaters. Look in the mirror, guy. But then his buddy, who was sitting 2 seats next to him, according to the people I'm with, said that he was on his phone so much more. And he was looking up stuff about the movie. Apparently, they were leaning over and they were like, "Dude, there's like this starfish thing in the movie." And they're like reading about it. And we're like, "Watch the freaking movie. It's in front of you. You don't need to be here if you're going to read about it. You idiots." And then they walked out of the theater all obnoxious. Don't be obnoxious when you go to the movies. Be respectful of other people. Do you understand me,
Yeah.
viewers? Be respectful of other people. Okay, now to actual negatives about the movie. I did think it was too long. It could have been shaved. I didn't mind the time jumps. What I didn't like was the written text. He would have text kind of throughout the movie in kind of unique ways, and it felt
Yeah.
like it just would like pop up when James Gunn was like, time to pop up, instead of felt like it added to the movie or was like cohesive to the movie. But so that bothered me. And, you know, overall, I try really hard not to make this happen, but I'm not sure that there's anything like I had a lot of fun with the movie. I really liked the movie, but I do think it was a bit overhyped. And I try so hard not to get that way. But all I heard was that it was this crazy, unique, new movie, new superhero movie on the genre. And I was like, this is just Deadpool with other characters. Like, that's what it felt like to me. So, but I really loved the movie, but I ended up walking away a little bit like, okay, it wasn't, I was thinking I was going to come out of here like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And to me, it's more like an 8 out of 10. It's a fun movie. I had a blast with it. I would definitely watch it again. I'll probably watch it a few times. I had so much fun with it, but I don't think it's this groundbreaking new genre, you know, new telling of a movie and the superhero genre. I don't think it's that at all. I do like the wackiness of the story, and it did make me think maybe James Gunn should make a Deadpool movie, but it just didn't, you know, and some of the jokes just didn't work for me. Like some jokes I was rolling around laughing, and some just weren't very funny. They were and this is just another complaint. It became predictable with character deaths. At the beginning, there's a character death, and immediately I was like, "Oh, okay, so he's gonna do his thing again," because he does that in some of his indie movies, where kind of main characters die kind of crazy, and then it started to become, all right, I bet you these are the only two that make it out. Yep, there we go. And then it's became, oh, I bet this character lives. There you go. So I just kind of, it became a little predictable with character deaths for me, which is why it just was a little bit more down on it than I think most people. But like, I'm fine with the like 94 it's got on Rotten Tomatoes. I get why a lot of people love it. I really like it. I just don't think I'm obsessed with it. It's not the greatest new genre groundbreaking movie to me, but and maybe that opinion will change with more viewings. I don't know, but I still had a blast.
Yeah, fair
You
enough.
got anything else?
Never react to first Twitter initial reactions. Don't do it.
That wasn't what I was reacting to.
When you were getting overhyped by it, it wasn't that.
It was the Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, yeah, well, there were some tweets, but I wouldn't say they were all first initial reaction tweets.
Oh, I just have learned early on to not react to those and just walk it as blind as you can. That helps me anyway. But anyway, yeah, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit.
You know, but I'm also, I don't know. I weirdly don't think if I had not seen those tweets, I would have liked the movie more. I don't think that would have fixed the predictability problem or the in the thing text and the length. I mean, it is long. It is a long movie. There's a moment where you go, wow, this movie has gone on for a while. And that is not a good sign when you sit there and think that to yourself. But it's really fun. I like the movie quite a bit. It's really, really good. Harley Quinn has some of the best moments she's ever had in whatever this universe is. Rick Flag has some really good stuff. I like John Cena's character quite a bit. I'm excited for his HBO show, which I wish they would not have announced because it spoiled part of the movie. Assuming, did you stay for the after credit scene?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's an after credit scene, by the way. All right. Anything else?
Nope. I had a blast with this movie. Hope everyone else does.
Yeah, it's a good one. So go check it out in a theater. Just be respectful to other people. Yeah. Thank you to the Movie Meal patrons. Guys, go get some merch. Follow us on Letterbox, all that good stuff down below. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.